Coming to you from the Nut House Studios, presented by Gone Squirrel Radio Show. This is the Soapbox Smorgasbord Podcast with your hosts Jason and Ryan. So kick back and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, and welcome in for episode 17, Very Squirellystitious. We are your hosts, Jason.
And I am Knuckle Keys Rhino.
We got a little bit of a different episode for you today. What'd you do?
Some of her hair got out my nose. God. Shit.
That's what you get for putting a hairy one up to your mouth. We got a little bit different episode for you today. We're going to kind of talk about old wives' tales, superstitions, and some of the idioms, I think is how it's pronounced, and old remedies. First, just because we got to, snack time.
Oh, yeah.
And I know they have nothing to do with our superstitions, except for the fact that maybe, I don't know, like chilies and hot peppers are used in a bunch of different superstitions, or not superstitions, but
I'm superstitious of
Neko.
Of one of her colors.
Black cats.
Black cats.
All right. So first thing that we are going to try is Pringles Scorchin' Hot Chili and Lime. And actually, chili and lime are both used in some different superstitions and remedies. So I guess we're kind of...
That's true. Some voodoo stuff. Let me smell it.
It's got a nice limey smell to it.
Oh, it's limey. Yeah, that's good.
We had a busy weekend, so...
Oh, yeah.
WrestleMania, Cody finished the story.
All over Roman Reigns' face.
That's spicy instantly. I like it. I wasn't like all the other hot Pringles I've tried, none of them have hit your tongue hot like that.
You don't like that, Nick? She likes some chips, like Ruffles or something. But when you put the spice on there, boy, she ain't about that.
I like them. It's got a good flavor. I just wasn't expecting a spiciness right off the bat.
Oh. Got me. It's pretty good, though.
All right. I'm going to take those upstairs and you finish them later.
Yummy!
Next one, you put some of that paste pecane on them. The next thing we got is Lindt Excellence Chili Infused Dark Chocolate.
Ooh, chocolate.
Infused with spicy red chili.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we had a WrestleMania over the weekend. It was great.
Yep.
If you didn't check out our last little special, we went to Collectorama and checked that out. It was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Spent more money than I needed to. So did
a lot of $5 stuff.
Yeah.
It was actually could have been more expensive if we would have went to
squares.
If we would have went to Comic-Con or something, it would have cost a lot more money. Oh shit! I don't want to get the chocolate all over the shirt.
I'm not catching spicy yet. I love me some dark chocolate.
It just tastes like chocolate to me. Okay, there's a little bit.
Yep.
There's a little bit.
Okay. I like it though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can still get it, but they used to have...
That's good, man.
They used to have a chocolate that...
Damn, I want another piece.
They used to have a chocolate that was made with Tabasco sauce.
Taste. Man, that's good chocolate.
Yeah.
What's the percentage on this one? It's Lindt. You know what I mean by the cacao?
Yeah. 47. Dark chocolate contains cocoa solids, 47%.
What's the highest percentage you've ever had?
95.
I'm 92 for
And
me.
And it's kind of chocolate to chocolate. I've had 70% that taste terrible.
Like bitter.
And then I've had 90s that I've been like, that's a great chocolate.
92 is the highest I've ever had. And it was good, but it was very dry and bitter. But I like stuff like that because I like espresso, and espresso's kind of bitter. Okay. We got any more snacks?
That is it.
That's it? Damn it. I'm going right for these then.
Go ahead. So these first ones are wives' tales and kind of superstitions. And this is from almanac.com.
Speaking of superstitions, let's do 13 chips.
If you want.
Go ahead.
Once. So apparently people would scatter Solomon's seal. I'm not quite sure what that is. On their floor to banish serpents and venomous creatures from the room.
Weirdos.
I mean, a lot, but you got to think superstitions are in everything, and a lot of these thoughts and stuff. I mean, there's reasonings behind it. Some of these are
like the Salem witch trials. That was all superstitious.
Well, and some of these are religious based. Some of these are just, you know, they're just someone said it and it just took off like wildfire, and people
like a high school rumor.
And yeah, and like I said, they're in everything. You know, you've got, you know, workplace superstitions where like, hey, you know, if you don't touch the door frame on your way out or on your way in, you're gonna have a bad day or
you
something
mean like doorknob that. When you fart?
Kind of maybe. You know, superstitions are really prominent in sports. You get people that will. You know, you get athletes that will wear the same
socks.
Wear the same socks for an entire season. They'll wear
not change their jock strap. I bet. What do you want to bet? That's one of them. That's disgusting.
I mean, that might be one of them. Wasn't it Michael Jordan? And I don't know. It was in Space Jam, and I never really looked it up to see if it was true. But something like wearing his North Carolina practice shorts or something like that underneath his shorts during every Bulls game.
Is that right?
Yeah, you don't remember him saying that? And you know,
doesn't surprise me though.
Just stuff like that, and you know, there's a lot of numbers and things like that with different superstitions and things like that. Let's see. To protect your house from lightning, people would gather hazelnut branches on Palm Sunday and keep them in water. It's a little bit different.
Well, now they just ground it. I mean, your house can still get hit by lightning.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just grounded. That's the difference thing, you know. They had lightning rods, too.
It used to be said if you added caraway seeds to your chicken feed, it would keep your poultry from wandering away.
Okay.
And if you fed it to pigeons, it would help them find their way home. That's weird. Like some of the...
I don't know. That's just odd stuff.
It was considered bad luck to carry a garden hoe into the house.
A hoe?
Yeah, carry a hoe into the house. And
really,
if you did so by mistake, you're supposed to carry it right back out the same door you carried it in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you put fennel in your keyhole or hang it above your door, it protects you from evil spirits, supposedly.
Weird. Yeah.
Under a ladder is considered Satan's territory, and so that's why you're never supposed to walk under it. And if you do, cross your fingers or make the sign of the fig, which is a closed fist with the thumb between the index and middle finger.
What about before ladders were even invented?
Well, you got to think they've been around since ancient Egyptian times in some form.
But that's so ridiculous. How many times? I mean, it's the same thing when you break a mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Supposedly you get 7 years bad luck. Well, guess what? I've broken a couple of mirrors, and it's, well.
So I looked that up, and where that comes from is they say that a person renews themselves every 7 years. And a mirror is kind of linked to being part of, like, to hold a part of the human soul. Your reflection is.
Because you stare in it all the time?
I don't know. But if you break the mirror, then it's said to kind of break that part of your soul. And so it takes you 7 years to renew yourself again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. You better call Saul.
If you pound a nail after sundown, you will wake the tree gods.
If you what now?
If you pound a nail after sundown, you will wake the tree gods.
Oh, God. Ridiculous.
When you move into a new house, always enter first with a loaf of bread and a new broom. Never bring an old broom into the new house.
Man, people...
You gotta think, these things have been around for years.
But we break that all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Well, it's...
People got their favorite brooms. They don't want a new broom. They don't want a stiff broom. They want that broken-in broom.
No, I need to comb Neko or I'm going to have some problems up in this house. Jeez, Neko, you lush. Don't lay down and knock shit over.
That, like I said, those were from Almanac. This is from history.com. And these are kind of some odd... like remedies and stuff like that. For instance, one of the most popular remedies for illnesses was bloodletting.
Oh, yeah.
And basically they would cut an artery, vein, something like that.
Let you bleed out a little bit.
And it said that people had 4 fluids, and it was a balance of yellow bile, black bile, phlegm, and blood. And so they would do different things to even those out, and you had an even amount of each one. And if I remember right, it said that George Washington died from bloodletting.
Is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah, probably overdid it.
But yeah,
you're not supposed to do stuff like
medieval doctors prescribed blood draining as a treatment from everything from a sore throat to the plague, and some barbers listed it as a service along with haircuts and shaves.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Damn.
It's like, hey barber, while you're getting me with the straight razor under here, just hit the artery, the jugular a little bit.
Just nick the artery real quick. Let me bleed out.
Trepanation, humanity's oldest form of surgery, is also one of its most gruesome. And if I remember right, this was boring holes into the skull because it was kind of like when people had headaches and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. A lot of times the reason why you have headache is because your neck, your alignment's kind of jacked up. Like if I sleep wrong, I'll get a headache because my neck is like, on the pillow.
Well, but I need to go drill a hole in your head.
No, it just means I need to work on my alignment, and then it usually goes back to normal. That's all it is.
Mercury was seen as kind of a cure-all, and it was used.
But it also supposedly makes you crazy.
It does. People
That's why they say eating fish all the time makes you nuts.
So liquid mercury was supposedly used to expand your lifespan and viability and all that.
So you're supposed to take like a teaspoon?
They would drink it. They would put it on their skin.
Was it Queen Elizabeth? Not the most recent one, but like a long time ago. She'd have some of her servants who were dudes come with some young guy. And to make her look younger, because she would put the semen on her face, like Noxzema. It's real, dude.
I've heard of that. Mercury is also a popular medicine for STDs like syphilis.
What is?
Mercury. They would use it to treat syphilis and other STDs.
You know that syphilis and those STDs like gonorrhea and chlamydia, the clap, they were everywhere. Like a lot of people died from that back in the day.
Yep.
Now they just got a pink pill
animal dung ointments were a real popular medicine back in the day.
That's freaking gross.
Ancient Egyptians had a remarkably well-organized medical system, complete with doctors who specialized in healing specific ailments. The cures they prescribed weren't always up to snuff. Lizard blood, dead mice, mud, and moldy bread were all used as topical ointments and dressings, and women were sometimes dosed with horse saliva as a cure for impaired libido. Horse saliva. They would give women horse saliva.
That's sickening.
It's crazy, but these people believe that. Like,
but a lot of makeup.
What's crazy?
I don't know if they still do that, but a lot of like eyeshadow and stuff is from like bat droppings, dude.
Yep. And beetle wings and fish scales and
beaver. What was it?
Excrement.
Yeah, it's excrement. They say that's where the orange flavor is from soda.
That is so.
Something like that.
It was kind of a artificial vanilla flavor.
Yes, artificial vanilla. Thank you.
And but a lot of perfumes are made out of whale vomit.
Really?
You didn't know that?
No.
I mean, you gotta.
And I'm like, I see this girl. I'm like, dang, you smell good, girl. You smell like that good ass, that flipper vomit or the. Man, you got that. What
and
is
they
that?
gotta think. You
like
gotta think.
You got that sperm whale on? Shit,
you
girl.
Gotta think. They say that men are gross, but they're putting on whale vomit. They're putting on beetle or crushed beetles and moths and fish scales and bat poop.
I'm never licking a girl's face ever again.
And then they're sipping on that Starbucks drink made with that beaver excrement.
Man, and like, bitch, sip it on the excrement or scissor excrement.
So there was people that would suffer from persistent headaches, muscle cramps, and stomach ulcers, all sorts of stuff like that. And they had this elixir that contained human flesh, blood, or bone, and it was called corpse medicine.
What?
And that was a remedy for a lot of these. And they were thought to have like magical properties. You gotta think.
That's so weird.
They tried everything, and coincidentally, somewhere one of these. Someone got better after taking this stuff, coincidentally, and so they thought that it was that stuff that worked.
I feel like that's some placebo shit.
Yeah.
You know where the term rock gut comes from with alcohol? Back when alcohol was outlawed, a lot of trains would smuggle in mainly alcohol from Canada. Right? Like whiskey and stuff like that to all these little underground clubs. And guess how they smuggled them in? They had like train cars that were like refrigeration cars, and they had dead bodies in there. And they smuggled them in the dead bodies. That's where the point, it was in their stomach.
That's where rock gut came from.
Yeah. That's
weird.
Isn't that effed up, man?
So
come on, man. Sickening.
Ugh. So those were from history.com.
Gives a whole new meaning to rock gut.
What do you got out there? You want to read some?
Oh, you want me to read a few?
Yeah. This is from scribd.com. I can't remember the author. But
okay. Let me start at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Old wives' tales. If an apple bursts in the oven while baking, good news is on the way for the cook. Okay. Eggs that crack while boiling are a sign that visitors are expected.
Weird.
Okay.
Like it just makes it's.
What is wrong with people's heads?
I mean, this was the way that they thought back then.
But you know what? This is almost like conspiracy theories are out there, but this stuff is outright insane.
You got to think, they thought there was a reason behind everything.
When rice forms a ring around the pot while cooking, the cook will become rich.
Let's get up there and cook some rice.
Hey, dang right, man. Let's do it. Get some of that wild rice, brother. All right. Knocking over a sugar bowl is another sign of money.
Yep.
A sugar used to be expensive. Oh, spilling pepper. Okay. Oh, I see where we're going there. Okay. Signifies a coming fight, while spilling salt is a well-known sign of trouble. Throw a pinch of salt or pepper over the left shoulder to avoid the hex. Okay. With that, I'm going to segue from that. All right. I used to date a Japanese girl. Her name was Miwa Motohashi. And I took her to a friend of mine that I worked with. I took her to a funeral. She'd never been to an American funeral. And before we came into the house, it's weird that she didn't do it, but she goes, oh my God, I forgot. She ran in and got some salt, and she threw it over. She told me to do the same thing as I had to do the same thing and throw it over my shoulder to ward off evil spirits. And I go, you know how many funerals I've been to, girl, and never have done that? That's ridiculous.
I mean, but
that's the way it is. That was her custom over in Japan. And anyway, okay. You know, it just reminded me of that. Okay. Accidentally mixing up the salt and sugar in a recipe is a sweet sign. It predicts good news. Forgetting to add spice to a recipe while cooking signifies trouble ahead, and you must remedy this by adding the spices as soon as possible before you eat it.
Oh, different.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So in the Old Testament, in the Bible, you know, there was like different fabrics you could not wear together. There was different, you couldn't eat pork, you couldn't eat certain things. But then when the New Testament came around, which was a new covenant, as long as you give thanks, you can eat any food as long as you give thanks for it. So yeah. Okay. Oops. Let me go to the next page. All right. Bubbles in your morning coffee predict money. If they are near the side of the cup you drink from, the money will come soon. If on the far side, money will come slowly.
I was going to say there's a lot of wealth-based, that these were developed in poor places.
Well, and I don't believe in good luck either. Like, I always feel like you make your luck. If you play the lottery, a lot of people,
I think it's a game of chance.
It's a game of chance, and they'll say good luck. You know how many times I've been told good luck, and it's like, okay, I make my luck.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of times on the bus during finals week, they have a PR code that says good luck on finals. No, there's no good luck. It's called you study, bitch. That's what it is. All right, okay. If you must add a lot of water to boiling food, rain is on the way. If the coffee pot boils over, which I'm guessing that's like a kettle or whatever, more than often, it's also a sign for rain. Okay, no, that just means you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
That's all it is, dude. It's ridiculous.
I know.
They made, it's like almost like they got off on making up shit. Crossing knives while setting the dinner table foretells a long journey.
I've heard that before.
So have I. Also, when I eat with chopsticks a lot of times if I eat Chinese food or Japanese food, whatever. But I remember one time when I was eating with chopsticks, I just went like this. Me and Miwa were watching a TV show, and I just took the chopsticks and stabbed my food. She goes, "Oh my God, don't do that. It's like you're stabbing ancestors." And I go, oh, okay, whatever. I'll pull them out. I just thought it was ridiculous. Anyway. A piece of bread falling from someone's hand means a beggar will soon be knocking at your door, a friend that's low on cash.
Where you at?
Yeah, it's like that was in parentheses. Yeah, that's kind of runs in. That was kind of odd. Anyway, so if a piece of bread falls from someone's hands, a beggar, Neko, listen, the cord, you're on the cord. Hold up, guys. She's all right. Now we're good. I got some slack on my cord now. Thanks, Neko. I appreciate you laying on my lap. Maybe. Are you going to bring me some good luck now? Okay, good. It's good to hear. Tell me about it. All right. Spilling water on the tablecloth signifies rain and is on the way.
Lots of rain and lots of wealth. Man.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of this, because back then they farmed a lot.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff, superstitious stuff about farming and
especially when you look at some of the old farmers' almanacs and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of stuff about
they
that.
use trends and everything like that to predict what the next farming season was going to be like.
Let's talk about burning sage.
Mm-hmm.
People to this day will burn sage to ward off evil spirits. I'm like, okay. Well, for instance, with me, like I have crosses above my doorways. I have that to this day. But, it eases you. It makes you feel at ease, like to keep evil out of your home.
And someone told me that they would put chalk dust in a paste. And that's kind of what, and I don't know if it's true, but the original caulking was basically a chalk paste and then it would harden.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the same, like supposedly evil spirits won't cross chalk lines and stuff like that.
Well, salt. When they say the salt of the earth and stuff like that, they feel like that salt is a barrier for evil.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, people say that you should put it around your house.
I've heard that with charcoal dust. I've heard that with chalk. And so there's a bunch of different things.
I think it's ridiculous. How about that? All right. If you drop a glass and it doesn't break, this is proof you have friends that would go through fire for you.
Well, I got plastic glasses, so mine don't ever break.
They would walk through. I got a lot of friends, and I don't really expect them to walk through fire for me. Is
it? I mean, literal fire or
listen,
like a figurative?
The way I look at it, let's say if I was on fire, if they would piss on, that
R. Kelly?
No, that thing where like I wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire.
Yep.
Well, guess what? Some people might do that. I'd be okay with you. Dude, please piss on me when I'm on fire. All right. So we going to the next, or are you going to split these up with me, man?
Here.
All right, let's see here. What's this one? Silverware dropped at the table indicates the impending arrival of a visitor. Fork represents a man, a spoon, a woman. Well, okay, cool, whatever. A spoon does not indicate a woman. It indicates you're going to be spooning with a woman. Whatever, dude. Shit. I'm making up shit at this point.
So I've heard this where, like, if a bird flies into your house unexpectedly,
that almost happened this past weekend
for no apparent reason, it is a sign of good luck and fortune.
Oh, we should have just left the door open then.
Not so much for the bird, but yeah. Snakes are considered good luck as much as
snakes are.
Yeah.
Why?
And
why are they considered good luck?
One crawling to your doorstep, up to your doorstep, portends that someone from another country will enter your home. And it also brings good luck to your garden.
Snakes ain't good luck. Let's get real. Most of them are poisonous, dude. And Eve totally let the snake tempt her. And now we're sinners. Go ahead. I don't know. Where we at? Are you still doing?
I'm skipping around.
You're skipping around?
Yeah. Because we could sit there and read the whole list.
Or, I mean, we don't want to bore you guys to death, dude.
Because, I mean, it's a lot of these are, a falling picture predicts a journey for someone in your family. That's a little bit different. A lot of these seem to be water and fortune based.
An omen is a sign that signals a future event. Many omens are historically based upon ancient superstitions and cultural folklore. Did you know that the KKK, when they would wear the hoods and stuff like that, they were trying to look like ghosts because a lot of slaves had had African roots, and they saw that ghosts were like, they believed in ghosts because of their religions from Africa. That's why that was done that way, is to spook them. Mm-hmm. How messed up is that?
So when your cupboard doors are left open, it is said people are gossiping about you. I've heard that one before.
I've never heard that one before.
And see?
What about when your nose... Oh, man, my nose is itching. Maybe someone's talking about me. You mean that? Like
bad luck and superstitions are mostly Christian-based, as history will show they were very superstitious people.
Yeah.
And this is why they burn so many witches.
Yeah.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
Unlucky number 13 is one of them.
Oh.
Started with witches' coven having 12 members, making 13 only when the devil appeared at satanic ceremonies.
Oh, that's what 13 means? Go to that. I want to read some more.
Oh, the breaking a mirror?
No, keep reading.
Okay. 13 was originally in Christianity was considered a sacred number representing the 13 moons of the year. 13 was also the number of the Last Supper when Judas betrayed Jesus.
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah. Breaking a mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, so I already mentioned that.
Did you know that Judas tried to repent? He gave the money back, and they wouldn't take it. Yeah. He tried to repent, and he was haunted by demons, and he committed suicide.
Okay. Yeah. We already read those, I think.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what are you doing, Nick?
Okay. Toss me that one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
the thing is, back in that era, the Roman Empire, I believe, was very oppressive.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very oppressive even on the Israelites, or just people of Israel, people of Jerusalem and Bethlehem and all that. So they probably, in a lot of ways, they held them down, and, that's okay.
So, there was, I remember reading this article recently. Women that would cry a lot were basically diagnosed with hysteria. And they were basically prescribed to be basically they would cause them to have an orgasm, and they would have a machine that would do that. Basically, it was the first vibrator. They would put it inside of a woman, and it would vibrate and shake.
So she wouldn't cry so much?
But
if you think about all that is you're feeding the dopamine monster.
That's
all it is, because the dopamine is what? It makes you happy.
Yeah. And so basically, women used to be, like I said, if they would cry a lot, if they'd be upset a lot, they would diagnose them with hysteria, which is kind of a weird thing. If you had rabies in ancient Rome...
Is that what a lot of TikTokers that get on there and cry on TikTok and stuff, or they got hysteria?
Maybe.
There's dudes that are on there that do that, which is pretty pathetic, but... Anyway.
So if you had rabies in ancient Rome, they would, if you were bitten by a mad dog or other animal, they would cut out the area that was infected, and they would pack it with raw veal, and that was said to supposedly fight off rabies, even though there is technically no cure.
So veal, like young lamb?
Yes.
That's so weird. Why?
And then get this, they would feed them a diet of lime and hog fat, and then drink a concoction made of wine and boiled badger dung. And apparently, that is how you cure rabies.
Who the? I mean, what? I mean, you had some guy that was like Nostradamus or something, sat there and just they had someone, probably Caesar. I don't know if it was Caesar, but whoever was running the Romans at that time, sat
Wine
there
and badger shit.
came up with this crap and convinced them that is a legit remedy. How weird is that?
Covered the wound with raw veal, ate lime and hog fat, and then drank wine and boiled badger shit. That's crazy.
Ugh.
Apparently, they treated asthma with a diet of boiled carrots. They would boil carrots, and you would eat boiled carrots.
How would that treat asthma?
I have no idea. Heart palpitations.
Okay.
They would have you drink cold water, and then they would put a vinegar-soaked rag over your heart, and then they would shock you.
Damn.
And I get the shocking part because a lot of times they'll shock your heart back into rhythm if you are having heart issues.
Well, think about what they used to do with people that were clinically insane. They would, what would they call it? What's it called when they shock your brain? Dang it!
I don't know.
Come
I know
on,
they did lobotomies.
Lobotomy. That's what I meant. That's what I wanted. Yeah,
but
lobotomy.
That was basically where they would create a hole in the back of your head, and they would basically stick a stick in there and just kind of move it around. And
yeah, but what's the other thing? It was.
I don't.
They would.
Oh, like they did to.
There's a term for it. They shock you.
Who'd they do it to? Granny on the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah,
I mean they had a shock therapy that.
Well, I believe it. That's probably just there's a term. There's a medical term for it, but still, it's just shock therapy. But yeah,
they would use.
That was a common thing that was.
So
done.
if you had a toothache, they would shock it with electricity to help with your toothache.
Which, if you think about it, it would
kill the nerve or deaden it or
probably
paralyze
dead.
it. Yeah.
Well, dude, the nerve is the only problem at that point.
So electrotherapy was used in the 1700s. And it was used until the early 1900s for illnesses like epilepsy, paralysis, impotence, tapeworms, and more.
Tapeworms.
Yep.
Wow.
And some people got it just because it was just basically like a general checkup thing. Like if we went and got a booster shot on our
herpes sore.
I guess. So they would use. Okay, so if you had frequent nosebleeds, they would either use a red hot poker, which would basically sear shut whatever was bleeding.
Interesting.
Or they would do bloodletting, which bloodletting, like we mentioned before, is where they kind of just cut you open and let you bleed a little bit.
Weird.
Yep.
So strange.
They treated malaria with a magic word.
What are you doing, Neko Keys?
They basically
give them a show. Don't look at her tail. If you look into the starfish too long, she's giving it to him too.
So basically, they would write abracadabra on a piece of paper with one less letter on each line. I don't know, some certain way that they would write it. And then they would
bite my glasses.
Tie the paper with flax and wear it around their neck for 9 days before tossing it into an east-running stream. And if that didn't work, then they were supposed to rub themselves with lion fat. And that's how you got rid of malaria.
Weird.
They would use...
I mean, did it work? That's what I want to know.
Probably not. I mean, it says if it didn't work, they were supposed to rub themselves with lion fat.
Oh, so... it's a bunch of placebo BS, man. I'm gonna have me some more chips.
Rabies was cured with ground liverwort and a cold bath. That's...
want some more chips?
No, not yet. Epilepsy. They would cook a strong man's hair with a deer leg bone, turn it into a powder, and then eat it leading up to a new moon. And supposedly that helped get rid of epilepsy. I mean, you got to think how many things these people tried before they landed on those actually working.
Well, just think about so many things. For instance, there's so many things like different foods. Like people smoking marijuana, for instance. How did they figure out that that was an okay plant to smoke?
Yeah.
I mean, was it just burning the field or something? And then they were like, oh, well, this makes me feel funny. Or eating mushrooms or something.
You know what have you ever heard of Bible cysts? Okay. So there's cysts that you would get on your hands and wrists. Mm-hmm. And what they basically said to get rid of those is you would either tie a bullet to it that had killed an animal. You tie it to the cyst. You would touch it with a dead man's hand. Yes. Yes.
What?
Or you would hit it with heavy books to smash them. And the heaviest books that they had at the time were Bibles. So they would use the Bibles to smash these cysts, and that's where the nickname Bible cyst would come from.
Weird.
Asthma was once treated by cigarettes. They would have people smoke cigarettes to treat asthma. That seems like the opposite.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Man, I'm guessing that was propaganda from the smoking industry, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. If you were sad or hungover, you could drink saffron water, and it would.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Yep. Radium was used to cure arthritis, impotence, and aging, along with several other things. I mean, there's all sorts of toxic, none of this stuff is anything that nobody would even think about using.
Some of this stuff, like a lot of people don't even mess with this stuff anymore.
Syphilis was treated with mercury.
Yeah.
They used cocaine for hay fever. 4% solution of cocaine up the nose.
I've heard of cocaine being used for a lot of different things, but I didn't hear about that one.
Chloroform used to be used to treat asthma.
Damn, that would just knock you
Yeah.
out. What? Oh, you have an asthma attack? There you go. Oh, got nickel in the claw. She just let me do it.
Sour cream. If you had chapped hands, you would put sour cream in a cloth and bury it outside overnight. Then you would pull it up in the morning and put it on your hands. I don't know what burying it overnight does, but apparently that makes it to where, it cures your chapped hands.
Interesting.
If you had a ringworm, they would make a paste out of vinegar and gunpowder, and you would put it on there and leave it on there.
I haven't had a ringworm since I was a little kid.
I don't ever think I've had one.
Yeah, it's been since I was a little kid, man.
I know people that did wrestling back in the day would.
Well, and you know what that is? That's from
bacteria.
That's from mats.
Yep.
A sweat on mats and stuff like that. And that's why you get like what's that disease called? Oh, come on. A lot of people get it from mats. They get it from wrestling mats and stuff like that. It starts with an S.
Syphilis.
Not syphilis.
Staph.
Staph infection. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Shh. Shush.
So if you had bruises that did not go away, they would make a powder out of human bodies, and you would rub it on there. I mean, this stuff was crazy, man.
What?
They would use periwinkle to get rid of cataracts. You'd put burnt periwinkle flowers and honey in your eyes.
Oh! Now they just smoke a little bit of green, and supposedly that helps because it opens up the capillaries.
Ooh, this next one sounds kind of weird.
Yeah, please tell me.
According to so to treat swollen eyes, take a live crab and cut its eyes out, throw the crab back in the water, then apply its eyes on the neck of the man who has swollen eyes, apparently.
That's freaking stupid. How dumb is that?
If you have swollen body parts, apparently.
But there's people that believe that crap back then.
Listen to this. They would pull the tooth out of a live fox, put it in the skin of a fawn, and then place it on the skin of a swollen body part. Like, who comes up with this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get how any of this stuff would actually really work. Like, where they were just... It makes me think they were on drugs when they were coming up with this crap.
Like, to get rid of a hangover, they would grind up bird beaks, and you would drink or eat that, apparently.
Oh, come on.
Pickled sheep's eyes to cure a hangover. Well,
here's the thing is, it's funny that they didn't even understand simple hangovers.
Oh,
all a hangover is you're drinking decaying food, right? So you lose vitamins because of it. You're poisoning your body.
Rabbit poop tea was used as a hangover remedy, as was drinking owl eggs with wine for 3 days.
And you got rabbits, dude. So next time
I ain't doing it, man.
I think you should get drunk and try it.
I am not doing it.
Rabbit poop tea.
Like, how?
Hey, Thumper.
Like,
make sure you get to pooping.
It makes me glad that we have red Gatorade these days. That all came from mental floss.
Yeah. It just all this stuff. I wonder how old some of those are.
And some of them are really old, and
Well, and you still like downtown. They got tarot card readers and stuff like that. For God's sake!
But you got
some of that old stuff's still going on.
You got to think some of that stuff, like tarot cards, supposedly have a Christian link to them. There are some. Some of those
probably Catholicism.
Well, some of those metaphysicals have religious connections to them, numerology and stuff like that. There's a lot of numerology in the Bible. Yeah. This came
it's probably connected because paganism was very much so practiced back in the biblical era. So what happened was some of that stuff got intertwined with Christianity. And that's why we have the weird stuff with Easter and Christmas and things like that, even though that stuff's not significantly accurate.
So this came from HillsboroHomesteading.com. And this is a lot of wives' tales and kind of weird remedies. And I've heard some of these. Like if you have a sting or bite from a bug, you can put a tea bag on it. Like a wet tea bag. There's some healing properties in it.
No, I've heard that one.
Tobacco. I've heard of raw tobacco. I've heard of honey.
When you get a burn, I remember I had a little burn that I got from shooting off fireworks as a little kid, and my aunt put butter on my burn. Butter.
Yep.
And I heard that mud. You also put mud on there.
I've heard that too. Apparently with splinters, if you put a piece of bacon on the splinter overnight, it makes it easier to remove in the morning.
You think it's the grease or the fat or something?
Maybe.
Huh.
If you have lice, which both of us don't have enough hair to have lice problem.
No, I just got crabs.
You wash it with hot vinegar and dry it, or wash it with vinegar and hot hair dryer, and it'll kill them. If you have a cold and you drink the juice of one raw onion, that will supposedly help.
Ugh.
I couldn't do it.
I like onions. I like them when they're cooked. I can't do raw onions.
I've also heard that
on a burger I can do a raw onion though.
If you put onion slices inside of your sock, like inside of your sock when you go to bed, you wake up the next morning feeling like you don't have a cold anymore, like you feel better. And I could see that. And this one says clove of garlic, crushed.
It keeps away vampires?
No, well, maybe, but it also helps with your cold. Getting rid of warts. If you wash your hands in the early morning dew, if you break off the stem of a dandelion and rub on it, rub a piece of raw beef on your hands and bury it, and apparently that helps get rid of warts.
I
don't know why we gotta bury it.
Well, I've always heard with warts,
duct tape.
Well, I've always just cut mine off, but I've always heard, I don't get them very often. I definitely don't have genital warts. I don't. But I've heard that,
despite reports.
Oh, say. No! They're all going to laugh at you. No, but no, I've heard that, like, I remember the little wise tale when I was a kid, if you did that or something, like toads would give you warts and stuff like that. Your body has that in it inside. Like they say that our bodies have cancer cells. Our body has herpes.
Well, it's like,
there's all kinds of things that are in our bodies.
Even for, even recent stuff that I've experienced, everyone has a seizure threshold.
Yeah.
And it kind of depends on your body chemistry, your body environment, everything like that.
I think stress can cause it.
Yeah.
Can cause seizures.
Now back to warts. So I worked at a horse farm.
I heard stress causes warts too.
It causes acne, causes all sorts of stuff. Yeah. So I worked at a horse farm when I was in high school. And they had a horse that had warts, and we tried different creams and stuff and it wouldn't go away. And the vet told us, you rip one off and then you rub the blood from that on the other warts and it'll help it go away. And it sounded like the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But we tried it and for the most part it worked. A bunch of the warts went away and we did it again and it kind of worked.
Should have used Party Boy did on Jackass and do a shot of horse cum on it.
Now here's some weird things with warts that really don't it's not directly on the wart. If you bury a potato under a tree and walk away and don't look back, if you drink raw apple cider vinegar with your mother, apparently that helps. If you rub chicken bones on your warts at night, don't know why it can't be during the day, but yeah, if you nail a snail to a fence, the wart will fall off.
Well, and also like apple cider vinegar with mother in it. Supposedly, if you smoke weed the night before, you can use that and wash it out. It's bullshit, by the way.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Now here's some acne treatments for you for our preteens that may be listening. If you catch the morning pee of a pregnant cow and dab it on your face or anywhere else that needs it, and then let it dry for 15 minutes before you rinse it, that'll supposedly help with acne.
Who the F came up with that?
Rub a urine-soaked baby diaper on your face. Jesus.
Come on.
Dandelion wine is supposed to help purify your blood.
Dandelion wine?
Mm-hmm.
That's a Native American thing because they had teas and wine from dandelions.
Burns. Vinegar. I know vinegar helps with sunburn. I swear by that.
The vinegar does?
Yep. You get a rag wet with vinegar, white vinegar, and you just let it set on your sunburn, and it helps. If you create... Let's see. Oh, well, that's easy. I mean, apparently potatoes help with sunburn.
Yeah.
Something different. If you burn your finger, grab an earlobe to take the pain away.
Grab like one of your earlobes?
I guess.
What? That's some bullshit. Anyway.
That kind of reminds me of that Major Pain thing, like, where he what is it?
I forget, I don't know.
I don't know, he like smashes his finger or something like that. You know how to make that pain go away? And
I don't
remember it.
Now I want to watch the movie, see?
Tomatoes can be used to treat a burn.
I've heard that. I know mud.
Yeah.
Mud.
Strong tea.
Yeah.
I've heard of tea also used.
Yep.
You put tea on a cloth.
Yep. What if you got like 3rd-degree burns? That's some, it makes you wonder what doctors use.
Stomach aches if you use tea made of roots of
peppermint
of the meadow. Yeah.
Peppermint helps with that.
I also know people that swear by spoonfuls of mustard or drinking vinegar.
Spoonful of vinegar makes a medicine go down?
I guess. So I've heard of vinegar and mustard being used to treat stomach aches and indigestion.
I've heard of
pickle juice.
Not just pregnant women, but if you take lavender, like lavender soap, if your stomach is like really out of sorts, you just smell the lavender on your nose. It like helps calm down your stomach.
If you use salt, if you put salted pork on a boil, it helps treat it.
What about salted licorice?
Oh, that stuff's just gross. If you put onion under your Band-Aid, it helps cure the infection on an ingrown toenail. I don't know why.
Okay.
I feel like onion has a bunch of medical properties that
could be.
And
it has a lot of vitamins. It has a lot of vitamin A and a vitamin E. So.
Raisin soaked in gin helps with arthritis.
Soaked in gin?
Mm-hmm.
So you drink it?
I guess, or eat
boozy
raisins.
You know why it probably does? Because you get drunk as all heck.
Oh, yeah. Rehydrates them. And I've heard all sorts, like Epsom salt, obviously, for sprains and bruises. Butter.
Epsom salt's legit.
Yeah.
Nah, man. It helps a lot with your sore muscles and stuff.
Iodine is all over in these.
Yeah.
Tiger Balm on muscles.
Dude, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So by the way, I have Tiger Balm upstairs, and it legit works on sore muscles. And so does Blue Emu. I use it every day too. Helps a lot.
This is one I remember hearing. If you put WD-40 on an arthritis pain spot, it helps relieve it.
On WD-40?
Yes. And I have also used, so these are a little bit different. If you have a cut that won't stop bleeding, the dust from a puffball mushroom will help. And also people have used spider webs to clot blood. Or to clot a spot. They'll bunch it up on there. Because spider webs are high in vitamin K.
I've heard
which is a blood clotting compound.
I've heard. Okay, now I get that because I've heard that spider webs are loaded with vitamin K, which is so weird, dude.
Spanish moss, have a dog lick it. There's also people that use lamb's ear, the plant lamb's ear, as a medicine. For its antibacterial, antiseptic. White bread. Apparently, people use white bread to use as a compress for wounds.
Oh,
pine resin. Honey used to be used as a. I don't know that I would do this, but applying kerosene when you step on a nail or shut your fingers on the door will take the pain away immediately. Toothaches. If you peel the bark off a tickle tongue tree and chew on it, it instantly numb. I don't know what a tickle tongue tree is.
No, I've never heard of that.
If you put a clove against your gum to treat, or you can put a clove against your tooth.
Well, I'm looking across from me here, and there's some cat litter there. I know that you can use that for oil.
Yeah. It's not.
I know, whatever, dude.
But man, there's just so many of
some
these
of that
are
stuff is
so far fetched.
Yeah, it really. No wonder none of it's being used to this day.
Yeah. I mean, foot fungus. You can put turpentine in there. You can put walnut leaves in your shoes, and that supposedly helps with foot fungus.
I remember this guy that was on my bus one time. I don't know what happened to him. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Foot fungus.
He was talking to me about hair loss, and he told me that he said that peroxide will make your hair grow back because it unclogs the DHT or whatever. And I go, BS. And he was like, he always tried to convince me of that crap, and I was like, dude, I'm not doing it.
Let's see. Some of these are with babies, so if any new or expecting mothers are listening, catnip tea or caraway seed or a bit of onion juice. People really like their onion juice. Helps with colic.
Colic?
Yep.
The hell's colic?
You know, colic's like...
I don't know what it is.
It's like...
Pardon me for not knowing everything.
And I don't know exactly what it is. It's not like where they cough a lot, but it's basically just like kind of uncomfortability in a child, or I can't remember exactly what it is. Toast a piece of bread completely black, then soak it in boiling water, and that also treats colic if they eat it. Cabbage leaves will dry out.
Oh, here's one.
A breastfeeding mother's breast.
You know what cures yawning?
Sleep. Urine dripped in the ears treats ear infections, apparently. So someone pisses your ear.
This shit with urine. Well, they say like if you get like stung by a stingray or something, you should pee on it. That's weird.
Yeah, we had to do that. My brother got stung by a jellyfish, and I had to piss in a cup so my parents could pour it on his leg.
Did it work?
I guess. I don't remember. But man, it's just, it amazes me how crazy some of these are.
I like the fun facts though. They're not facts.
Yeah,
they're not facts.
It's just a different time. I mean, they didn't have medicine. They didn't have internet to look stuff up.
How'd you keep up with that shit back then? Because I couldn't remember all that.
I mean, I wonder if stuff like that was in like a farmer's almanac.
Well, you know, it's weird that there's still laws that are on the books that are so ridiculous. That are connected to weird shit like this.
If you crush up a mud dauber's nest into a fine powder, you can apply it to a baby's bottom for a diaper rash. Rolled oats in a sock or cloth bag and add to a warm bath will help. Apple cider vinegar for asthma. I mean, wives' tale. Oh, here we go. Snake bite.
Ow, bitch! Don't bite me. She bit me.
Snake bite. If you
if you pet a cat too long, she'll bite you.
Apply raw eggs and milk or sardines to a snake bite. Wonder if there's oil in the sardines.
What about sucking? Could you imagine sucking out? Who came up with you should suck the poison out?
Yeah, because then you just end up with it in your mouth. And what if you got a sore in your mouth or bad gums or something like that?
But that's real. Like people really do that. It's crazy. Like you have to in the beginning.
Ooh, okay. So I've heard of this used with livestock, where people will feed them tobacco to help as a dewormer. You can use pokeberries to get rid of mange on animals. Don't know if it works for people, but here we go. Look once. Do not wash your clothes on New Year's Day. You could wash someone out of your family. Look, I got 6 people in my household. I'm doing laundry every day. I'm picking up.
So who came up with the shit about don't wear white after Memorial Day or something?
Yeah.
Is it Memorial Day? Is that correct?
I've heard of something like that.
Is it Memorial Day though? It's Memorial Day, right? Something dumb like
right.
Something ridiculous like that.
Leave change outside of the house and a candle in the window for ghosts.
Hey,
apparently,
if you watch Star Wars in non-chronological order, does that mean that the stormtroopers will have better aim?
I don't know. Having spider webs in your house supposedly makes it warmer. Weird.
Oh, that's whatever. I mean, it might keep down like insects and stuff, but I really don't care to have spiders up my crib.
Do you get stains on your clothes? Apparently, if you piss on it and then you scrub it well before washing, it gets rid of the stains.
What?
I guess if you have high acidity, I mean...
What about cat piss?
Neko,
you ever pee on my clothes? I will sell you to a Chinese restaurant and you will be served on a stick. You hear me? Yeah, okay.
Neko, turn the other cheek at you.
Yeah, I'll throw a chip at it.
So yeah, I mean, a little bit different episode today. I mean, if a dog's eating grass, it's going to rain.
No, that means that they don't feel good. That's all that means.
For every day that there's fog in August, there will be snowfall during the winter.
Okay. Might as well throw it in here because to this day we still do it. Groundhog's Day.
Yep, and that's on there.
Phil don't know shit. Let's get real.
Nope, he screwed us over this year. But yeah,
exactly.
So a little bit different episode today. We kind of, there's a lot of these that I had never heard before, and there's some really cool stuff. And I cited all of the articles that I pulled these from and websites just so we can, not get sued for using their material.
I was doing that, from the water and my spit, my saliva, in a stream so I could cure some of the subscribers and the listeners.
Squirting onion juice at them.
Yeah. We can break up some Brazilian nuts.
But yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in. We just want to kind of do something a little bit different this episode, and superstitions, and hey, if you crack a nut after midnight, it means you're like, if you bust a nut after midnight,
oh shit,
it means you probably met up with a co-ed.
I didn't. I'm not doing it.
Or you're likely to meet up with a co-ed.
Well, I'm definitely not going to get a co-ed, obviously. Yeah. I can't break a nut. Can't bust a nut.
All right, there you go. Oh, still can't get it.
Damn it.
But, yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah!